morning, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, both at home and in the diaspora. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to a very special announcement that we are here to make today. In studio is Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information, Ms. Donnelly Vite. With her is Mrs. Ramona Henry Wynn. She is the CEO of the Cultural Development Foundation. We also have the chairperson of the Carnival Planning and Management Committee, Ms. Tamara Gibson, and Mrs. Lauren Sidoni, CEO of Events St. Lucia. In studio, we are backed by Export St. Lucia, and we also have a few members of the press here with us today. So I want to say again, good morning and thank you for joining us. We know that July is a very fantastic time in St. Lucia. We see high energy and pure vibes. And this is the time of year that we celebrate St. Lucia Carnival. So without further delay, I will hand over to the PS, Ms. Donnelly Vite, who will take us into St. Lucia Carnival 2023.
Thank you very much, Doreen. Thank you, listeners and viewers. Good morning to everyone, and good morning to my Lady Power for Carnival 2023. But in our plans and preparation for Carnival 2023, we did need to take on some level of reflection, and we recognized that the creative industries had been starved for a very long time during Carnival, and it was really the last industry to reopen in St. Lucia because of the restrictions on mass events. As a result of that, the policy for pushing the barriers to host St. Lucia Carnival meant that we needed to have a truncated carnival so that we could have the necessary controls for public health. In doing so and executing a really fantastic carnival, and kudos to the agency panelists represented here this morning and those not represented. Kudos to all of those who participated in the Carnival Music Management Committee, the Carnival Planning Committee, and persons on the periphery who really contributed to the success of our Carnival 2022. We were able to reflect and also looking at the benefits for St. Lucia Carnival to St. Lucia, not only looking at the two-day revelry, because we know a lot of persons in here in St. Lucia Carnival focus on the two-day parade of the bands, the jump up, what is very visible, but we were also able to reflect on the music, on the various events that were truncated and we were not able to host. And in planning for moving forward, it necessitated an early announcement of St. Lucia Carnival so that we could ensure the tourism agenda was pushed and achieved, so that we could ensure that all the creatives and the creative minds and the various artists who participate in St. Lucia Carnival would have been ahead of the curve in terms of their preparation, and the many benefits would redound to many, and we could plan and prepare for it in a big way. So this year, we're making it a statement in preparation for next year that we're starting very early in terms of our announcement and in terms of our planning and our marketing in the diaspora and in our other tourism markets. So, and on behalf of the ministry, I'm very pleased to inform you, St. Lucia, that St. Lucia Carnival 2023 is slated for the 1st to the 19th July for next year. And we have with us these agencies who would really be in the forefront for planning and executing Carnival, and we're hoping to bring a bigger and better Carnival every year to you, for you to benefit economically and otherwise. So we are here for 2023, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, PSVT, and I can only add to that this is part of the Reimagine strategy to ensure that we are capturing the early gains for St. Lucia Carnival 2023, and of course there is already pent-up demand. We move over to Mrs. Henry Wynn, and we want you to speak from the standpoint of culture and preserving culture amongst, the revelry.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Doreen. Good morning to our viewers here and abroad, and to our media partners. The Cultural Development Foundation is very pleased to be a part of this panel, because we believe as an organization that we are the engine room that drives, that nurtures and cultivate the art forms and our artists. Carnival is one of the most unifying cultural and creative extravaganza in the region. And it finds its cultural expression, which is encapsulated in our music, in our dance, in our costuming, in the revelry. It finds all of its expressions, cultural expressions, in those art forms. And the role of the CDF is really to nurture all of that, to ensure that the product, as people say that the carnival has lost its culture. I beg to differ, because whatever we express on the road during our festival is all part of our culture. The calypso music is part of our culture. So what CDF really aims to do this time around is to really place a lot of emphasis on developing the art forms, developing the artists, because you have a lot of raw talent around. But we want to ensure that it's developed in such a way that we have a product, because Carnival is a product. We want to ensure that we have a product that is second to none, that we can stand up against any of the world's carnival and in the region. So we will ensure that we cultivate, we create a hype amongst our artists, we train them. And for us, our training won't just be sitting in the classroom and doing stuff. Our aim is to ensure that our artists are certified. So when they apply for visas in the region to go and participate in other carnivals, we know that we have trained them to bring them up to a high standard, so that we have a wonderful product that we can display to the rest of the world. So very shortly, you will see the CDF in partnership with the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and all of the areas like voice training, business of the arts, stage performance, portfolio preparation, and a number of areas that would build our artists, that would allow them to understand the businesses in which they operate, so that they can reap the benefits. So you will see us in partnership with the Sir Arthur Lewis, and our artists will be certified, so that they can put out a product that all of us as agencies sitting here today can be proud of. So that is the CDF's mandate: to promote, to nurture, to develop. And we will develop our artists, and we will ensure that for Carnival 2023, that you can have a very powerful product that St. Lucia can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wynn. You just heard from the CEO of the Cultural Development Foundation, Mrs. Ramona Wynn, pretty much promising an exciting carnival, culturally rich, and of course we can look forward to carnival being a sustainable product. We're just going to take you into our 2023 teaser video.
Somebody call my mother. Hey, somebody call my mother for me. Make me do what jiggle for me. Play for that table for me. My girl, I know you able. Now Glenn, for me. You start yourself. For me. Vega, for me. Vega, I feel like it's the same man that I got to forget. I'm on the road. Trouble on the road. I wanna run every carnival with you. Go do every festival party too. I'm doing this over and over. They could never take my carnival from me.
July 1st to 19th, 2023, save the dates. Ms. Tamara Gibson is the chairperson of the Carnival Planning Management Committee. And in 2022, we saw the amount of work that was put into the festival overall. We're going to ask her to talk a little bit about St. Lucia Carnival 2023, and of course, to tell us about some of the exciting events on the national calendar.
Good morning, Jareen. Good morning to my fellow panelists, and good morning to our viewers. The Carnival Planning and Management Committee is of the view that early planning is critical to the success of St. Lucia Carnival. As such, we are pleased with this unprecedented early launch of the dates and schedule for St. Lucia Carnival. Carnival 2022, St. Lucia Carnival 2022 was dubbed the best carnival of the region. And coming off of this high, we are ready to welcome the world to St. Lucia in 2023. In 2023, we will see the return of our usual carnival calendar, and we are of the view that the public will be happy. We know some areas, because of COVID-19 in 2022, we were unable to host some of our major activities, but this, for next year, 2023, we have ensured that the full slate of activities have been listed. We will also see the return of community carnivals, and we will be in discussion in short time with the various communities as to the dates for the events, and we are here to give them the assistance that is needed to ensure they too produce great carnivals for 2023. For 2023, the carnival dates as previously announced by the PS are July 1st to 19th. On July 1st, we have the Carnival Queen pageants. On July 2nd, we see the return of Junior Carnival, and we know the kids are very excited, and we'll be happy to have that back. July 6th, we see Inter-Commercial Calypso competition. And then we move right into the National Soca Monarch on Friday, July 7th, and the National Calypso Monarch on Saturday, July 8th. July 9th, we will see the Panorama competition with the 10th of July, Monday the 10th, Queen and King of the Bands. And of course, our Parade of the Bands on the 17th and 18th of July. So we look forward to the public participating in those events and to enjoy the revelry and the vibe that St. Lucia Carnival brings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. We'll move over to Mrs. Lauren Sidoni, CEO of Events St. Lucia. And of course, Events is very much involved in the execution of Carnival. So I want you to speak from that standpoint.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Jareen, and good morning to all. It's interesting, Jareen, it's represented here. Carnival in itself represents a culmination of activities. You have the performers, you have the service providers, the artists, and it comes together, I guess, in some type of culture masterpiece. Likewise, the planning to the execution of Carnival also involves input from different agencies and from different artists, etc. And that's what's represented here. You have the strategic level, we have the Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information. Then you have my colleague, Mrs. Wynne, CDF, responsible for the cultural product and conceptualizing Carnival, and of course, Tamara, heading CPMC, Carnival Planning and Management Committee. She will guide the planning and management of Carnival, and then, just so that I get into why ECSL is involved, it's really a chain reaction. ECSL now comes and I guess puts it together in terms of execution and production of Carnival. And we're happy to take on that role. What we have to do, of course, is ensure that we have a Carnival product that is of a high standard. Because Carnival, in terms of a festival in itself, that's fine, but it's also a tourism product. And I guess we're given SLTA, St. Lucia Tourism Authority, one more thing to market when you speak about St. Lucia, our Carnival, and events in general. So the execution and the production of Carnival is key. Ensuring that the standards are met and that the standards are worthy of being marketed to an international audience is extremely critical, and ECSL is delighted to play that role in the execution and production of Carnival.
Thank you very much. And speaking of giving SLTA more work to do, of course, in stimulating the pent-up demand for St. Lucia Carnival 2023. A delegation led by the Minister of Tourism will be in Miami tomorrow evening, hosting a press conference to really pitch St. Lucia Carnival. And he will be joined by the Chairman and CEO of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, representatives of the various carnival bands. Export St. Lucia will also be joining along, and we will be hosting that press conference along with travel, trade, diaspora leaders, carnival influencers, Miami Leadership Carnival, and the Miami Carnival Beast promoters. Both traditional and carnival-focused media will also capture and share the event, and this launch will provide an opportunity for us to really help develop a sustainable mutual relationship between the Miami Carnival audience and St. Lucia Carnival. In addition, some of St. Lucia's soca artists will have their talent on display at the event, and St. Lucia's offerings will also be on display at Tipsy, which is a major event that will be headlined by African giant Burna Boy, where tens of thousands are expected to attend, and also along the Miami Carnival route on October 9th. So pretty much the 2023 edition of St. Lucia Carnival promises to be exciting, it promises to be culturally rich, and we look forward to July 1st and 19th with all of the national events, the private parties, and of course ensuring that we stick to our mandate of delivering a really structured and culturally rich carnival product. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure having you join us here today. A lot of girl power in the studio this morning. So again, thank you for joining us, and we do look forward to St. Lucia Carnival 2023.
Let me tell you how I'm looking.
God made man, man made money.
She's so fine, man. She's a vibe.
God made woman to eat my money.
Yo, all time. Team program. Hey. Jump up with your lover. Jump up with your lover now. Hey. Wine up with your lover. Wine up with your lover now. I wanna do every carnival with you. Ladies, we scrub yo, ready, yo, scrub yo. Ladies, you ready, yo, scrub yo, ready, yo, scrub yo. Ladies, it have some, it have thing like Irish Spring. It have some, it have thing like Irish Spring. It have some, it have thing like Irish Spring. It have some, it have thing like Irish Spring. Every girl on the scrub.
God made man, man made money. God made woman to eat my money, eat my money.
Jump up with your lover, jump up with your lover now. Hey, wave up with your lover, wine up with your lover now. Any vet we go, we see gets what to.